Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Shit, Get Fit. I am your host, Rafał Matuszewski, and I feel not myself lately. This whole COVID thing is definitely getting to me. I think I am not the only one that's feeling this way. You know, our entire world has been flipped upside down. You're either working somewhat online from home or not at all. The gym is probably not working out for you. You probably have some strong feelings about what the hell's going on this day and age. And, you know, the last couple days have been really rough for me. Oh, and my whole phone setup just fell over. But anyway, so last couple days been really, really rough for me mentally. Probably somewhat depressed based on how I feel. It's just that feeling where you wake up and you're not really excited to kind of get things going. You know, it's been really hard to wrap my brain around my passion for what I do. My drive and motivation are just not there right now. And something that has been kind of helping me, and I wanted to bring this up because a lot of you probably feel the same way. Like, even though maybe you're on EI, maybe your work has come up with something where you can still get paid somewhat, and all you have to do is work from home and you have all this free time, but still it's just not the same, and maybe you're just not enjoying what you're doing anymore. So the one thing that I've been kind of practicing is something called apathy. So literally the opposite of empathy, right? Like, as a coach, like really good coaches, they have a lot of empathy for others. They're constantly giving to others to help them, right? Like, on a daily basis, I'm constantly giving. But for some reason, at this point in time, with how my life has changed professionally and how I had to adjust to work, like, I just don't feel like I have enough to give. Like, I'm depleted almost. And this concept of apathy comes into play, where just caring a little less is what's going to get you through. You know, like, there's nothing wrong about being pissed off or angry or mad or upset or frustrated with how your life is right now, because it's changed for everyone, like literally everyone. And as a empathetic person, you tend to always look on the bright side. Like, I'm such an optimistic person. I'm constantly looking at the positive. Like, what situation, like every bad situation I go on, I'm like, okay, there's a learning curve, there's something of value here. But doing that constantly sometimes takes the toll on you, and I think that's where I kind of hit myself too, right? That's where I kind of hit a wall with I just can't give anymore. That's what I'm at. And this whole idea of apathy, where I just literally just don't give a fuck anymore, and allowing myself to be okay with that, to give a little less, is making me feel good enough to kind of keep going, right? Like, I've had so many dark thoughts about just like, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna stop completely everything I'm doing and just like stay home and do nothing, right? But I know that I'm responsible for so many more people than just myself, and I can't be that selfish, right? Like, there's always a bigger picture for me. Like, this comes into like almost extreme ownership. Like, if things don't work out for my clients, my patients, the gym, the employees that got laid off, then it's all my fault. That's how I look at it. Like, because I have the power right now, especially, to change things around. So I can't be that selfish where I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. So, just caring a little less is okay. Like, for everyone listening, that's what you kind of need to do at this point. Just care a little less. Like, it sounds counterproductive, but if you think about every emotion that we go through on a daily basis, it comes and goes, right? Like, you don't stay happy 365 days out of the year for 24 hours a day. Like, that would never happen. Happiness comes and goes in waves, right? And like, some periods of the year you're more happier than the other. So just like this phase of apathy where we just care a little bit less, or we show that we're upset and frustrated and things like that, that's okay in this instant. Like, be okay with the idea of showing your true emotion. So many of us always try to mask our emotions. So I think in these instances, you need to give the permission to yourself to feel what you feel, right? Like, explore that emotion, right? Many of you are trying to get your fitness and health back on track, but maybe for some of you, it almost seems like every time you go, all right, new day, I'm going to get my workout in, I'm going to like start eating better, but then halfway through the day, you're like, fuck, I'm baking banana bread and cookies, and I fucking ate half of everything. Because you have the time to do stuff more at home, right? Like, people will say like, oh, now you have all this time and you can exercise. Like, you're still gonna get thrown curveballs, right? Like, be mad, be upset, be frustrated, be sad, whatever it is, and then explore that emotion. We're so taught in our society to, hide our emotions because it's not, accepted, I guess. Like, fuck, if you're gonna cry, explore those emotions, 100%. Like, I don't know why that, for some reason, it's not good to express how you feel, or, you can't express your feeling towards another person or a situation. You have to keep it quiet. Like, this is the time right now to do those things. And sometimes, like, if you just say, like, even to yourself, if you just start saying out loud why you're pissed off, why you're sad, you don't understand, and sometimes that is like therapeutic. Like, if you're really angry about what's going on in the world, like, start bitching and complaining to yourself compared to you going on Facebook and doing a rant on a post, and then other people start arguing with you and it doesn't go anywhere. At least with yourself, you can say all the stupid shit and not feel like you need to hold back. And then sometimes you'll catch yourself and you're like, what the fuck am I saying? So practice apathy, caring a little less, and start looking out for yourself, right? If you're an empathetic person by nature, an optimist, it's time to switch gears a little bit. I think that's what people need right now. And that could be that, tipping point where you finally become successful, right? Like, you'd be surprised how often doing the opposite thing sometimes will influence something else, right? Like, actually, a good example about this, one of the recent books I read that I thought was kind of interesting is, I think it's called Think Like a Freak, where they look at stats around the world to figure out, not the obvious answer to change or influence things economically around the world. So one of the examples in the book was in the early 2000s, the murder rate in America dropped significantly, like a lot. And if you looked at the murder rates in the US in the 90s, 80s, and 70s, it was ridiculous. It was way up there, right? And these guys who wrote Think Like a Freak, they're trying to figure out how that was. Like, there wasn't really any new gun regulations or law, or they didn't hire more police officers or anything like that. Nothing Jurassic stood out. But in the 2000s, the early 2000s, I believe majority of all the states legalized abortion. And so many women ended up taking that option. And that influenced how many people being born in lower income communities in poorer sections of cities that had high criminal activity. So with less population, that greatly influenced the rate of murders in America on a whole, right? So something completely not like related to that kind of criminal activity influenced it, right? So in this case, it's kind of similar. Like, caring less is going to make you end up caring more and reach you to your goals when it comes to fitness and health, or really anything in life, right? Sometimes giving too much when that's supposed to be like the answer, because we all know like being a good person means to care as much as possible for others. And sometimes you hit your limit of how much you can care, and especially during times like this where you have to give more, you're going to run out on empty really quickly. So really kind of think about this concept and you'd be surprised. Like, sometimes you got to look out for yourself, and maybe just taking, a step back by 5% is all it takes for you to like wake up in the morning and be like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to take on the day. I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to eat healthy. You know what? I don't need that 3 glasses of wine tonight like I've been doing the last 3 weeks during COVID. Like, imagine that, how much that would change for you. So I think I'm going to end it there, because I went on a roll, and I want you guys to just take this information, apply it, and start doing it. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. It's crazy to think that I have so many people out there internationally listening to my show. I forgot to look up my top 3 cities, so I apologize. Thank you. Subscribe to the podcast. Give me 5 stars. Share this podcast with your friends and family. I want to reach more people. I want to help more people. Hit the show notes. Add me on Facebook and Instagram and all that fun stuff, so you can also see the videos and photos and blog posts. Actually, no, I don't do any blog posts anymore, but it's all there in the show notes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I also post all these videos of my podcasts where I'm driving, and that can be super helpful if you like want to see me drive for some reason. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much again. Till next time.